Hello, everyone. I am so excited that you are coming on in to push play on this video for our April meeting. Never in a million years would we have assumed that a Dress for Success PWG Alumni chapter meeting would be a virtual one. Never in a million years. I do videos and meetings with a lot of people, but never did I think that it would only be videos or only FaceTime or only Skyping during this time. And so when we have come to this situation, we want to be able to do what's best and make sure that we still keep a piece of consistency in our schedules. And scheduling and routines are so changed with everything going on. So I was kind of thinking of what am I going to do, or what do I want to say in light of what's going on. That could be of encouragement to you. That can be of some kind of inspiration, or just a moment of stopping and reflecting on everything going on, but how can you have a piece to the puzzle? So I kind of coined the name of this meeting, A Quest in the Quarantine. And so we know that a quest is, by definition, a long journey until you get to the final thing that you're searching for. So that's the reason why I kind of called it this, The Quest in the Quarantine, because I wanted us to take a moment to see, as a nation, we are on a quest for something, but also as an individual, what are you on a quest for? And if you don't know the answer to that, by the end, I hope you do. So if you looked at your emails, your email would have had this video, which you have successfully clicked, and it also would have had a worksheet. The worksheet was definitely optional. It was just an idea if you wanted to print it out to kind of go along with what we're talking about. That was there for you. But if you don't have the worksheet tangible, like right there, a pen and paper will completely do and be great enough for you to get these thoughts down on paper. So the worksheet kind of looked like this, and I kind of wrote all over mine. And that's what I want you to do. I want you to write on it. I want you to get everything that I'm imparting down and download it into your heart, into your spirit, and make it mean something and not just be a regular video or just a conversation that you heard, you know? So the very first point that I want to make is the definition of a quest. I kind of said it already, but I'm going to look down to read it just to make sure I don't forget anything. So what is a quest? So if you're writing, you would write down quest. Simple word, and good old definition, because I'm very wordsy, would be a long search for something. And it doesn't say a search for something. It says a long search. And that is the reason why I used it, because we don't know how long this is going to be. I was talking with a friend of mine, and she said, you know, can you believe it's been already almost 4 weeks in this whole quarantine mess? And I can't believe that for a whole month, this has been our new normal. But if this is how long it's been, and we don't know an exact date to when things kind of pick back up again, this will be our quest. We don't know, so let's use this time wisely. The next question that I wanted to share with you is, what are some of the quests for this nation? So that question is very open-ended. There are no right answers or wrong answers. They're just answers that fit the question for you. So what are some things that you can think of that our nation is on a quest for? If you're writing, you can take a moment to write some things down. What is it that our nation is on a quest for? Just any thoughts. If you are watching CNN, watching the news, what are these things that we hear, whether it's the president on, whether it's the mayor or the governor? What is it that it seems like they are on a quest for in this time as a nation? What do you think? Well, as you're writing, here are some thoughts as to what some things are on a quest for. We have a quest for a cure. We have people talking about, why can't we have some kind of vaccination? We got to get to that as soon as this is over and all of that. People are talking about vaccinations. People are talking about the idea of stopping the spread of it. This is very serious in the idea of the spread. And the other piece that makes this coronavirus so serious is that you can be walking around with it and not even know and still infect someone else. So the other quest that our nation is under is finding out how we can stop the spread. Hence why we are in the physical distancing act and the social distancing, as they're calling it. So that is another thing that we are on a quest for. We're on a quest for a idea of what can we do to stop the spread. Another thing that people are saying that are on Quest are answers to the numbers. There are a lot of numbers going out there where you hear, oh, 200 and something over this town and all of that. These numbers are frightening. But I want you to put into perspective the amount of people in those towns. So yes, 200 sounds like a ginormous amount, for example, Massachusetts. But let's think about the amount of people in Massachusetts. That's about less than 1% of people. So I'm not negating that it's not okay and it's not worrisome. It's just, I don't want you to have so much fear. I just want you to be protected and know that this nation is on a quest for stopping the spread. So do everything in your power without fear. Just keep the faith that we can find the answers to these quests. Okay. Another thing that this nation is on a quest for is the stages. We are hearing new news all the time. It's airborne. It's not airborne. It's this, it's that. So there's a lot of quests in our nation right now. And every time you turn on the TV, you'll hear that. So try your best to, understand that the nation is under an unknown. And so this time is the time for you as an individual to find your quest. So that is the reason why I'm writing all these notes and the reason why I'm sending this video. I want you to find the quest in your quarantine. What is it that is simply something that you want to get going? What are you in a quest for? What could you possibly do during this quarantine time? So the next question is, what is my quest in this quarantine? So think about it for a second. What could be something that you can kind of uproot in this time that you might have, otherwise not have had that time? What is your quest? And I'm going to read you some examples of quests that other people have had. And I say other people because I have been using my quest, my time, to try to inspire, try to bring some awareness and some encouragement to women in the area via these tools like Zoom and videos and such, because I want people to understand that they're not by themselves, but I don't want you to lose the time that you have in this quarantine. Don't lose the time where people say, I wish I had time to clean my house. I wish I had time to find a hobby. I wish I had time for this. I wish I had time for that. Most of the time people are losing that because they're asking for it and wondering for it. And now you have it. So are you on a true quest for it? Some things people said were financial assessing. They're using the time to realize, hey, I'm not eating out as much. Now I might have some more money in the bank, or they might use their time to write a blog or a book. People are using their time to order their bedrooms, their closets. I had someone else say that they are reaching out to other family members that they might have, not have had so much time to do. Some people are creating new routines. What is your new routine? Do you get up in the morning and keep on your bedclothes and just move on and get your tea and do your regular thing? Or do you actually get up and, present yourself as if the day begins and you actually change your clothes or you actually do your hair? I'm not saying that not doing that is wrong. Believe you me, there are days that I just keep my bonnet on too. But try your best in the midst of this quarantine that you pick a day or pick a few days that you actually are going to set yourself up as if, you know what, even if I'm not going anywhere today, I'm still going to get dressed. I'm still going to brush my hair. I'm still going to make my bed. I'm still going to, put on some pants instead of wearing my bathrobe all day. Whatever it is in that aspect for yourself, create a routine that is creating an atmosphere in your home that helps you gain what it is that you need in this quest, which is sometimes some peace, sometimes some self-worth, sometimes some revitalizing, recharging, resetting. Another one is writing your visions. A lot of people have reached out to me knowing that I love doing vision boards and have said, hey, can you help me out during this time? I have time. How do I create a vision board or anything that, relates to something like that? I want to use my time wisely. So that is another thing people are doing. People are going back to having family dinner time. Personally, I can say we always did have family dinner. maybe 3 or 4 times a week, but now it kind of seems like every day. So maybe creating that family time again that maybe have, kind of slipped by the wayside during these quarantine times, you got to back on it. A lot of people are fighting anxiety. You could be affected by this, but not necessarily infected. You might not be walking around testing positive, but believe you me, life is changing around us. So you can't say you're not affected at all, but it's the magnitude of affecting that's different for a lot of people. And it can cause anxiety when things are out of your control, when things are not the way that you set them up, when you can't even come together with a routine, or, all the things that you usually do are out the window because times are different. So keep in mind of those things. And that's where the circle of checking in on people to, kind of give them a inspiration or just a talk, just some human contact of conversation will definitely go a long, long way. The last question that I wanted to kind of talk about was, what is the hardest thing to do in this quarantine? What is the hardest thing for you? Could it possibly be your lifestyle? What's hard for you during this quarantine? If you could kind of put it together, what could be the most challenging piece for you during this time? So I'll give you a second to write that down, and I'll look up the questions, the answers of other people's questions as well. What is the hardest part for you in this quarantine? The hardest part is different for everyone. And I am not saying that, this is kind of, I'm negating the fact that there are people dying. I'm not negating the fact that there are people affected and infected. Personally, the majority of my family all live in New York. And I could say I know 12 people that have tested positive, and maybe 2 or 3 that are really, really sick. And I actually lost a friend to this quarantine. So it's true, it's real, and grieving is part of your journey and it's part of growth. So I feel like even if you are dealing with it right there, slap dab in the face, it's someone you know, or it's just news and you're hearing, regardless of how it is, it affects you. And anything that affects you is worth facing. Anything that affects you is worth talking about. And that's what I wanted this video to be. I wanted you to know that you're not by yourself. I wanted you to know that I want to take the time out to let you know you can have a quest in your quarantine. You can pick up a hobby that you don't always do. You can write that business plan that you always put off. You can make phone calls to people to get information on something that you've always wanted to know about or need the help. Create a time that you can maybe find a mentor or a coach, that you can find those calls and schedule in, conversations to get better for your self of growth. This is the time to do it. And I want to offer myself out to you. If there's anything that I can possibly do as a life coach or a spiritual coach, you let me know. This is why I'm here. This is why our whole connection has become what it is. It's not by coincidence at all. I want you to know that you are not by yourself. I want you to know that you are worth finding your quest in this quarantine. Make the time that you have useful. One thing that I have been telling some others is this is a pause in our nation. And as soon as the pause button is unclicked and it is play, what do you have to show for your time? So use your time wisely. Use your time to better yourself. Use your time to grow yourself. Use your time to surround yourself with people via calling or emailing. Stay accountable for the things that you want to do. Create plans. This is all the stuff that I love to do. This is like my zhuzh. Okay, so find me. You can email me. You can call me. And I will be seeing you guys soon. As soon as this is all over, our meetings will be back in action. I am so excited that Bev is still around just for a little while longer until her things are taken care of. So she's an ear always. And I want you guys to know, wherever you find that ear, use it. Use it. You are the only one that knows what you need during this quarantine. And my job, my thought for you today is to know that during this quarantine, you can be on a quest. You can be on a search for what it is that you need to do, that you need to dust off the shelf. Purpose was on the shelf. Dust that bad boy off and use it. Creativity, you put it on the shelf. Dust it off. It's time. You know, whatever it is, finding a coach, like I said before, finding a mentor, finding resources that you might need. Try your best to find what it is you need. No one is going to know what you need other than you. So use this time, use this worksheet that I gave to write down some of those things that you are going to use your quest for. And I can't wait to hear about them. I do want to say that the very, right before the last question, some other things that were hard for some during this time was physical touch, you know, not being able to see other people and tangibly, physically, palpably touch them. Eating out, that's a lot of things that a lot of people do. Having date nights. Believe me, I love my date nights here and there. And so we were creative. We literally made our food, went into the car, and my husband and I just had our breakfast. We drove over to the park, looking at the park, and we had our date time. Be creative. Use what you have that's in your hands. If you can use what you have in your hands, you will be blessed with more when this time is over. Some other things people were talking about was shopping, that they wish that they can do that more. But hey, it's more time and more things in your pocket. Staying in could be a challenge for some. And watching the news can be a challenge. So prune yourself down to a certain amount of news that you watch a day. Remember, what you put in is going to leak out. So if you continually only putting in news and news and more news and news and news, it will eventually be something that's all you're thinking about. Change your channel up. Put something else on. Go on YouTube, listen to inspirational people, you know, call your friend up and say, hey, who are you listening to nowadays that's kind of inspiring? Or play different games. Do something during your quest that you would have not otherwise done. That's what I implore you to do. I'm so encouraged to know that you will do it. You've watched this video. You've pushed play on it. So I want you to push play on your quest. I can't wait to hear the feedback and information from you guys. I will give you all of today, which is Wednesday, to push play and watch the video. I'll give you all of tomorrow, which is Thursday, to think about your quest. And I'm going to try my hardest to reach out to every single one of you on Friday to see what it was that was something striking for you in this video that you never thought about before. So I'll reach out to you via email. If you want to reach out to me before then, you feel free to call me. My information's on the bottom of the email. Feel free to email me. My information is there. And feel free to take a picture of your note or your worksheet and say, here, this is what I was thinking. Whatever it is, find your best way to communicate, because when you know what you need, other people can help you. I cannot wait to see all of you. I can't say when because this is our quest, but when it happens, it will be an amazing embrace, and we will all know that we took time in our quarantine to find our quest. I can't wait to hear back from you. All you guys, enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe, and talk to you very soon.